All right, welcome back, Houston HAX fans. It is week 1 of the National Draft League. All right, so the Houston HAX are back. We are the bad boys this year. Obviously, we're always the Houston HAX, but this year our names are actually villains. Okay, so we are out. We're out to take names, and let's see how this first week goes. So here's our matchup. We play Ballw, who's a really good player. I've actually never beaten him. One of the few players, him and Prisley, I think are the only two that I haven't beaten yet. So anyway, this is one that I really want to win. Obviously, it's the start of a new season. So hopefully, here we go. Just first looking at our team versus his, I really like Obstagoon breaking almost everything on his team. He really doesn't switch into anything that's going to be dark, normal, and close combat. So everything on the team really struggles against that. So Obstagoon is pretty cool there. One thing that I am definitely worried about is the speed tier of Cinderace. Cinderace is definitely a problem. And so making sure that I can kill that thing is going to be huge. So I got to decide if I want to use Bolton to be my revenge killer of Cinderace, or if I want maybe to Scarf my Obstagoon, my Terrakion, something in the mix. Another thing that I'm looking at my team, Torracat actually has a really good matchup here. Just straight fire typing is actually really nice against Ballw. And he has some key things like Copperaja, he kind of needs to revenge kill my hat. And fire is good against, obviously, Steel. Fire is good against Beartick. Fire is good against Villainux. Fire is good against Rillaboom. So I think we have some potential there. Also, I don't really have a great fire switch in. Araquanid's okay, but I need another option. And plus, at speed tier 90, it's almost perfect for this game, as it's faster than everything below here. So Torracat actually is definitely coming. I think the big three, Hat, Obstagoon, Terrakion, all have good matchups. I think Hat, just looking at Como and making sure that I don't get killed in one shot by it is really, really huge. Otherwise, looking at the rest of my squad, Decidueye, I don't really like it in this game. I like it overall as a Pokemon, but in this game, I'm not too keen on it. Garbodor is actually a really good switch in for Rillaboom most of the time, except for when he runs like high horsepower. Remember, he has Grassy Surge in this. So, interesting matchup. He's got switches to my Mons. I'm thinking maybe Auroraville, Villainux, or the Ice Cream Cone. I'm thinking Gastrodon needs to come for sure, as well as Copperaja. So it's interesting matchup. I'll show you my team real quick. We did go with Choice Scarf, Terrakion, Adamant, so we can do as much damage as possible. Then we have Obstagoon, who is also our breaker for the game and has coverage to hit everything, as well as obstruct in case he runs like a Choppleberry or something on his big elephant. Harley Quinn, the Hatterene, can easily win this game as long as I keep it healthy and am able to set up some Calm Minds. As soon as Trick Room is active, Draining Kiss plus Mystic Fire is going to wipe out his whole team, especially at +2. At +2, I pretty much wipe out everybody. Or things that I don't kill in one shot, I heal so much that it doesn't matter. The Architect, aka Claydol, Rindoberry for his Rillaboom. But otherwise, we're going to teleport around, we're going to rapid spin, we're going to get rocks up, and we're going to body press things. This is my favorite set of the game. Flamethrower, Endeavor, Toxic, Parting Shot. I did have Endure here, but I decided to go for Toxic so I could touch Gastrodon. But the Endeavor, I think, can just put some things in range of the rest of my squad. Araquanid's mainly for Cinderace, and then putting up webs if Cinderace dies, or setting up webs multiple times. If we're both under webs, I think I benefit from that situation. So let's go into the game. I lead my Black Cat, Torracat, almost every single time. He sends out the Rillaboom. I decided to go for the Toxic because I think, honestly, it just makes a lot of sense for him to switch here. And so there's no way he goes Copperaja, and Toxic hits pretty much everything else. And even if he stays in with Rillaboom, I get to understand, I get to calc it and figure out what type of Rillaboom he is, and he's Toxic. So Toxic's really nice here. Obviously, grass terrain kind of works against it, but we make a really nice play off the bat. Here we make a mistake. Okay, Parting Shot does not affect Soundproof. Okay, I did not know that. I did not know parting shot was a sound move, and so honestly, if we didn't land that toxic, he could have set up here. It would have been really big trouble. We might have lost because we didn't know this interaction. So we got kind of lucky that we were able to catch this Como on the toxic, and then we'll just keep playing here. Drain punch. We figure out that he's pretty offensive here, especially on the physical side with drain punch. I didn't know exactly what else he had, but I decided to go with my hat. He doubles back into Rillaboom. Rillaboom actually does way too much damage to me, so I don't want to take any damage. I go for the bulk up. Here, I decide that I just want to get some damage on Rillaboom. So I go for the flamethrower. He goes back into Como. I've already shown him my switch, and so this is a pretty easy predict for him. I think I could have made a middle ground play by going to like Araquanid or something like that. Because I do have Ice Beam on my Araquanid, so I can touch Como, so it can't sub up on me. So that might have been a nice play. Again, he doubles again and catches me. I have to go back to my Hatterene. At this point, honestly, I'm pulling out my hair a little bit. I'm like, oh my god, he is doubling every freaking time. Now, he hasn't like killed me on, he hasn't like taken him on, but it's just really annoying with all the doubles. I think if I would have stayed in and gotten hits off on Rillaboom, that might have really impacted the game, but it would have been a ballsy call to stay in. So, I mean, hats off to Ball. He played really, really well. And I think, honestly, I have the matchup here, and so he has to be aggressive. He has to make switches. He brought a really cool team, by the way. But anyways, let's just keep playing. Luckily, the grassy terrain really helps us out. We get out our Torracat, is our switch into Rillaboom at all times. I believe we go for Flamethrower again. I'm not 100% sure on that. Yep, we go for Flamethrower. Here we're going to parting shot out because it covers the switch. And if he goes to Como, we're not really worried about it setting up now that it's toxic. We're able to get in a Hatterene for free. Unfortunately, this is a big turn. Getting poisoned here really sucked. Leftovers plus Grassy Terrain for 2 more turns would have automatically put me up to like 60 health. But instead, let's just count how much damage that my Hatterene takes. So, 12% already. All right. Now, because of Grassy Terrain, obviously I'm not like losing a ton of health, but I would have way more health. So now not just 12%, 24%. And now I play a dangerous game that I think I could win. I don't know how I conditioned myself to think that I could win this 1v1 at 39% health and poisoned. I know in the mock battle, something similar to this happened, except for he didn't have Calm Mind. I was playing Cooper, and he actually had Heal Bell. But regardless, I decide to start Calm Minding up on this thing, and I'm just going to Drain Kiss to get all my health back. Because, I mean, you'll see. Again, another poison. So we're at like 36 or 48 now. I heal as much damage as I do almost because Hatterene's health is so low compared to Aromatisse. So I'm still thinking I'm fine. But now he starts to Calm Mind, and now we just have an issue. We just don't do enough damage to get enough heals. This poison becomes a big issue, and I don't really want to switch in on a Moonblast. I think my best option here was to go either Torracat or Araquanid right away, like on this turn or the one before it, to try to get a Toxic off on this thing. Because as soon as a Toxic gets off on this thing, now we can weaken it down to a point where either Obstagoon or Terrakion can come in and kill it. But unfortunately, we don't do that. So, he keeps Calm Minding. I am silly and think I can win this 1v1. So it basically cost me Hat. It cost me, you'll see here. Hat's going to die. It cost me Hat, and it cost me my Araquanid. I'm able to get the Toxic off. I do survive one. I thought about getting up Webs there instead of Scalding. In hindsight, getting up Webs would have been really, really nice. I don't know if it would have impacted the game too much, but getting up Webs would have been really, really nice because it so happens he does not have Court Change on his Cinderace. So Webs here would have been actually really, really huge for me. Anyways, I have to sacrifice the Araquanid. I bring in my Obstagoon. I Obstruct because I need more Toxic damage. He wishes. So now he's at 66. This is a calc, okay? This is like 20%. In my opinion, he's max defense. This is like a 25% calc. Now, because I'm Jolly, okay, if I were Adamant, I'd kill no matter what. But because I'm Jolly, because I'm worried about, Como. I'm worried about Rillaboom, both kind of being faster than me. I don't run Adamant, and so I get lucky. I really do, because I would have lost Obstagoon here, and that would have pretty much been the game. But instead, we get a play on, and we get to see a cool interaction here. So I bring out Torcat because that's my that's my play on Cinderace always. He's at just 1 with a defense boost. Now remember, I do have Endeavor, and so I thought he might bulk up again. Either way, I felt Toxic was my best play, even though I could have Endeavored right away. But with the Toxic, now here at +1 and +2 defense, if I can survive, if my boy Black Cat can survive, and you'll see this is my favorite play. I got really excited after this play. I didn't know if I was going to win the game yet still, but I knew I had a chance. So with that Endeavor play, Torcat putting the team on its back, able to defeat the Cinderace. That was huge. That was absolutely huge. But here's where Webs would have been nice, because Como would be a little bit slower. Actually, it's a little bit further in the match. I'll show you. We got Claydol as a pretty safe switch. We're able to get up rocks. He keeps poisoning my dudes, which, I mean, it's 30% chance to poison, so I'm not that upset about it. Get up my rocks. I do have that. I'm sure that killed most of the time or all the time, but it's just unfortunate. I tried to. If I was at full health, I would have survived, and I think maybe the 12% on the poison actually may have allowed me to survive. Just any chip on Rillaboom, would have been really, really nice. So, because then I could threaten to kill with Flamethrower. Anyways, I Endeavor here, and this is what I'm saying. Because if I had the webs up, this speed boost wouldn't have mattered, because both my dudes would have been faster regardless. Now, granted, Terrakion is scarfed, so it doesn't matter. But I'm able to revenge kill with Obstagoon rather than Terrakion, which is huge. If I can save Terrakion on this play because I had webs, I would have had a really, really, really good chance. So here I got to sack the Black Cat because he's faster. He gets a little bit of health back. Grass Train plus lefties is broken. I'm able to bring out Terrakion. I have to because of his speed boost, which incredible way to get that off. But to Ball, like, he played really well. He had really cool sets. It's just unfortunate because you'll see. All right. So I know I have to close combat here because if I switch, like, Joker pretty much dies or gets really close to dying. I could have switched, I guess, but I felt if he had beating drum or whatever, then he would have been able to hit Joker 2 times in a row, and I just lose that way. So instead, we sacrifice each other, and it's all up to Joker. It's all up to Obstagoon. Obstagoon comes in on Capraja. I suspect Choppleberry, so I go for Obstruct so that my close combat is going to Oko here, because I am Jolly, remember. I'm not Adamant. So here, potentially a mistake. Okay, he switches into Gastrodon, and I close combat. In hindsight, I think I could have knocked off there and had a chance to live the Heavy Slam. I just would have been in trouble because Gastrodon would have been at full health and would have been really hard to kill. But if he still would have switched and I would have knocked off instead of close combat, then I wouldn't be at minus defenses. So that would have been really, really beneficial because I could have killed Gastrodon, then had no lower defenses on the Capraja, knocked off here because his Heavy Slam would not have been able to kill me. Now, he could have had Superpower. That's what I thought he had. All right, so I go for the Obstruct, and honestly, I thought he had a fighting move. I thought it just made a lot of sense on his Capraja just so he could Oko Obstagoon at any time, especially with Choppleberry, but he made room for other things. I was hoping he was AV, and that's why I went for the Obstruct. He has rocks, so he's not AV. All right. I go for close combat. He has Choppleberry. I would have killed if it was not Choppleberry, and I die. In hindsight, I could have gone for another Obstruct, lowering his defense, and then potentially winning, which would have been, I don't remember exactly what a double protect chance is, but it's about a 50-50 chance, I believe. And so, that's what it always comes down to against the best players. It comes down to some 50-50s. It comes down to decision making early in the game because it affects things. All right, he had to make some sacrifices on his team. He had a really cool team. Let's just look at his team real quick. I know you can't really see the Como very well, but this Como is deadly, and Belly Drum just blasts through my fairy type, my hat. So I understand why he brought this Como. That's a really, really cool set. It works really well, and he would have got it off if I didn't get lucky and get that Toxic right away. Cinderace with Passelberry, I think this is the coolest set, easily. Low kick covers Obstagoon. It also covers Terrakion. Acrobatics for Venom, my Araquanid, and then Pyro Ball for everybody else. And then he knows that I'm going to switch out most of the time because this is a revenge killer. So being able to set up bulk ups is really, really nice. If I didn't have Intimidate on Torracat, this thing might have just beat me immediately, or I would have had a really, really more difficult time. Rillaboom applying pressure because Grassy Surge plus Woodhammer does way too much damage. Does insane amount of damage. So it's just a mad threat. He, again, knows he doesn't have to run speed. Okay? He ran speed on this one because he was trying to boost his speed with the berry. But he knows he doesn't have to run speed because who is he trying to outspeed? You know, my entire team is base 70 and up, basically. So he doesn't have to run any speed because my speed, I really like my speed tiers, which makes me faster than everybody. But again, it'd have been nice to make sure he didn't have as much HP. It didn't really matter this game. But again, he's able to run max HP and he goes for this type of set rather than being max speed, which would have, it would have been really beneficial. He didn't have all that extra health. I don't think it would have made an impact in the game, but I'm just saying he makes a smart call, right? He's like, well, I can speed tie Obstagoon or I can get a bunch of health. Well, that just makes sense. Here's a really cool tech with counter on Gastrodon. That definitely would have caught me. Luckily, Gastrodon just defensively isn't that incredible. And so my Facade or my Terrakion still did a ton of damage to it. And then my hat 1v1'd it too. Chople Berry Copperaja, great set. Chople Berry, that's what Cooper brought against me in prep. Good Mon. Chople Berry's good too. I wish he would have done a defensive Como set and didn't bring rocks on this and was AV. I think that would have made a lot of sense, and that would have really helped because then I could have obstructed it and killed it. Oh, I could have killed it regardless because you wouldn't have Chople Berry. But Chople Berry makes a lot of sense. Great bring on his part. Then this is the sad one for me is this Aromatisse. I knew Moonblast, Wish, Protect. I knew Max Defense, but Calm Mind apparently, plus the poison on my Hatterene. I just wasn't expecting to get status on my Hatterene. More likely burned from the Gastrodon, and getting burned was fun. Getting burned really wasn't that bad, or wasn't as big of a deal. He might have still been able to 1v1, but that extra damage really racked up. And no, Ball deserved it. Ball played really, really well, and he's one of the best players, if not the best player in this league. So it doesn't matter what his team looks like. Like, he's going to make a really, really threatening team. So hats off to him. He played awesome. He's in HAX, got to go back to the drawing board. I know we were preseason number 1 by Cooper. Maybe a little bit of cousin bias there, but that's all right. That's all right. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Peace.